Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of an experiment today. This is what I'm going to call the power generator. It takes incoming voltage power from either the batteries or the commercial power, and then turns it into all the different voltages needed for all the different equipment racks. So this one is going to be a bit of a different kind of approach. I'm going to ask the printer to do some things that I haven't asked it to do in the past. So, for example, these guys right here, it's like a half of a millimeter by a half of a millimeter. I don't know how well it's going to reproduce that, but we're going to find out. These are holes in this piece here, and let me change the plane here. These are 1.25 millimeters by 1.25 millimeters, and that hole will allow me to insert a wire into that, which will look like a cable coming out of it. So those have been pretty successful in the past. Let's zoom in a little here. So if we look at this guy right here, that's a bit of detail. I don't think, let's zoom in a bit here. I don't think the printer is going to be able to print in these little edges sticking out here. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. What else is there going to be interesting about this? Let's zoom out a little. So, again, printing in layers, bottom layer, next layer, next layer. And then when it comes to here, it's going to have to create a layer that just exists with nothing much to support it. So I don't know how it's going to do this edge like that. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge. When you're building an edge on top straight up from another edge, not a big issue. What's going to happen right in here? I don't know. So anyway, I've already created the STL file, created the G code, and as soon as the printer, which is running in the background, is done printing the part it's working on, I'll start this and we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Okay, got the program, the G code loaded onto the flash drive. Time to get things started here. Oops. Okay, so the head, the print head, which is the temperature over here, has to get up to 200 as part of the preheat. It'll print at 220. And the bed wants to heat up to 65. Oh yeah, see the temperature, its target is up there, actual is here. So the bed is ready to go, cleaned off. Scratches, dents, dings, whatever. So we'll wait for the head, the extruder head, to get up to 200, and then we'll tell it to start to print. So hang on. Okay, so extruder's up to temperature. It knows the card's inserted. Print from TF. I have no idea what TF means. power generator. So now the extruder has to heat up to 220. The 200 is just like, get you in the neighborhood. So when it reaches 220, head jumps into action and starts the print. So I'll get you set up to watch that. So it lays down a little strip of plastic, comes back right next to it another one. So it starts by doing an outline around the part, and then it starts the print of the actual part. I'm guessing this print will take, if it doesn't fail and I have to cancel it, I bet it's going to take probably 2.5, 3 hours. Let's see if we can get some light on the subject. Very hard to see, but as it gets farther along, we'll be able to see more. We'll come back and look at it. Okay, so the print's going on. So the base is 3 millimeters. The overall height is 11.8 millimeters. So once the z-axis gets to 3, we know it's going to start printing the round part there and we'll see what happens. So 3.1 millimeter or whatever. So the z-axis, we see z at 2.9. It's almost ready to finish that. Still hard to see in there. Keep an eye on it for a second here and wait for it to get to 3.1. It shows you the clock there. The clock. 0 hours, 17 minutes. It thinks it's 33% done. I think the percentage is of the overall height. And so it doesn't really, it's not a true percentage of time, it's a percentage of the height. So the first, 10% of it could be the biggest part of the print. And the last 90% could be a tiny part of the print. So 2.96, now it just jumps to 3.02. So that's what, 0.06 millimeters, I guess. Let's see if we can get some light on this subject here. Yeah, it's still hard to tell. Go from the other angle. Okay, we're sneaking up on it. Let's get a little lower here. See if we can see. Interesting. We'll zoom in. Where are we at here? zoom back out. We're at 7.34 of the 11 point whatever it was, 8 or whatever. It says we're 79% done, 31 minutes. So my guess, 2 hours, way off. Not surprised though. I'm usually way off on those guesses. So we're currently at 10.7. That last bit is going to go pretty quick because there's not much at the top level. We're at 11.12, 18, 24. Yeah, it's going fast. So it should be finishing here in just a bit. There it is. All right, let's take a closer look. So there'll probably be some cleanup to be done. Interesting. Okay, time to clean up the bed a little here. Peel off this initial layer of, throw that away. Little bitty strand here hanging off the top. Then this outer ring. Sometimes these parts come off easily, sometimes a little more difficult. Get my fingers out of the way. As the bed cools down, it gets a little easier to release. There it goes. All right, let's get it under the magnifying glass and see what it looks like. Okay, so there's that little piece there that I was wondering if it was going to print well. The two holes where the power cables will come out of. You can see the different print lines. Here's where it finished off. So might have to smooth that out a little bit. But the round part of it, it's a little bit fuzzy under there. I might have to do some trimming. That end doesn't look quite so good, but I'll do some trimming, filing, sanding, grinding, whatever, and see how it looks. I'm kind of surprised how well it did. What do you think?